Hello, 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 and welcome to my third Facebook Live event. My name is Rachel, also known as CBD Woman. Thank you for tuning in, whether you're watching this live or whether you're watching it on a replay. I do appreciate you taking the time to listen, and I hope that by the end of this video, you'll understand all about the 4 different ways in which you can use CBD, and you'll understand which is the best way for you, or the best ways you may want to use it more than one method. So before, I do want to say thanks for taking the time to watch this. I do need to let you know before I do get going that as a member of the Cannabis Trades Association, we do sell CBD here in the UK as a food supplement only. So I'm not making any medicinal claims, and that's because we want to keep supplying it to people who need it and want it. So before I get going, I am just going to tell you a little bit about me. If you didn't watch my first Facebook Live event, I'll just share a little bit about how I started using CBD and how I got into this business. So I'm 38 years old. I was a property developer, investor, landlord for a lot of years. And as you can imagine, it was very, very stressful. I had quite a large portfolio and people just never paid the rent. Maintenance bills stacked up, and it was just a financial nightmare, to be honest. So yeah, I got into a massive financial mess, and it was just a lot of pressure. And I was very, very stressed out. I was depressed. I was anxious. I was panicky. I think I had a nervous breakdown, to be honest. But I was in this sort of automatic, just keep going, just keep going, just keep going. And I wasn't feeling great, and I was doing the best to pick myself up. So I would, exercise. I was eating healthily. I was juice fasting. I was praying. I was meditating. I was doing all of the things that, trying to do it holistically to feel better, but it just wasn't really cutting the mustard, really. So I went to the doctors and I got some antidepressant tablets, which I didn't really want to do, but I needed to do that at that time because I didn't have an alternative, really. So when I came off the antidepressants and I came out of property, I decided I want to have a business that is going to suit my lifestyle, and I wanted to be healthy. So I started a health food business. And whilst I was starting my health food business, I noticed that in one of the health food shops that they were selling cannabis oil, and I thought, wow, cannabis oil, they're selling cannabis oil. I thought, it's illegal, you're not allowed to do that, are you? And the shop owner said to me, no, it's completely legal. It's not got any THC in it, it's just CBD, and CBD is being found to have some really good health benefits. So, hi Daniel, hi Carmel, thanks for tuning in. So, I bought some of this cannabis oil and I started to use it, and to be honest, it didn't work straight away. Hey Hayley. It didn't work straight away. In fact, actually, to be honest, I started feeling worse before I felt better. But I'd done quite a bit of, started to do some research on it, and I understood that can happen. Sometimes you can feel a little bit worse before you feel better. So I persevered with it, and then after about 3 weeks, I started to notice a difference. And the difference that I noticed was that before, I was sort of waking up in the morning and I was just panicking. I didn't want to start the day. I just wanted to hide, just get under the duvet and hide from it all because I had all of these problems going on and stress. And plus I wasn't sleeping. My eating pattern was all over because I was just full of anxiety, really. And it was, understandable because I was under a lot of pressure. So yeah, now that I use CBD oil, it's not like that anymore. I sort of wake up in the morning around about 7 o'clock and I feel all right because I've gone to sleep about 11, 12 o'clock. And when I go to bed, I actually go to sleep. I don't lie there thinking, oh, I want to get to sleep, I want to get to sleep. I actually go to sleep. And, and I do use CBD as part of a healthy lifestyle, so I'm still exercising. Hey, Ali Rio. So I'm still exercising, I still, eat healthily. But yeah, it does support my health in ways that I just could never have imagined, really. So that's just a little bit about me, how I started on it, and why I sell it now is because it gives me well-being, and I want everyone else to experience that as well. So yeah, that's me on CBD. So yeah, I'm going to get into the video now. I'm going to tell you the 4 different ways in which you can use it. Now, the whole point of of using CBD is to get it into the bloodstream. That's what you need to do. Hiya, Alison. That's what we need to do. We need to get it into the bloodstream. And there's 4 different methods and ways in which you can do that. Now, the reason why we need to get it into the bloodstream... Hi, Joseph. I hope you're being good for your mum. So we want to get it into the bloodstream. And the reason why we want to get into the bloodstream is because CBD, it attaches to to the cells of our endocannabinoid system. And our endocannabinoid system is responsible for things like balancing our mood, balancing and regulating our sleep-wake cycle. It regulates pain sensation. It regulates immune function. It protects our neuroprotection, so the nervous system. So it does all of these absolutely wonderful things, but it can only do them if we can get CBD into the bloodstream and attach to the endocannabinoid system. So the first way to get CBD into the bloodstream is topically. So that's by using a cream on an area of skin on your body that you feel you want to put some. Now, obviously, I'm not making any medicinal claims here, but yeah, you can get, so if you have an area on your body that may need some attention, you'd get a cream like Elixinol's hemp cream, or something from Sibdol. So these Sibdol do some really great creams. They do Soridol, which, I just have to look at my notes on this because I can never remember which one's which. So this is for psoriasis. We've got Acidol, which is for acne, and we've got Zemidol, which is for eczema, and Hydrodol, which is just for hydration. So if you have an area of skin that you want to give some extra attention to, you would just put that cream onto that area. Now, the reason why it's really effective is because the CBD in these creams is active ingredients. So when you put it on top of your skin, it's going to absorb and it's going to connect and attach to the cells, the endocannabinoid system cells that are just underneath that layer of skin. So it's going to work on that area. Got to be really careful what I say here. Just there to support your health, no medicinal claims. So when we use a cream like this on an area that we want to give some attention to, it usually takes about 15 minutes to reach the cells for it to be absorbed, and then once it's there, it will stay in the system probably for about 3-4 hours or something like that. So it's quite a good way if you have a specific area that you want to give attention to. So they're the creams. So you can also vape CBD. So vaping is, I love vaping CBD, it's great. It's one of the fastest and quickest ways to get CBD into the bloodstream, because obviously as you're vaping it, it's going straight into your lungs and being absorbed into the bloodstream that way. So it probably takes about 5 minutes for you to feel it when you're vaping. Now, it's great as vaping, but it's not a very long-lasting effect. It's not going to stay in the endocannabinoid system for a massive length of time. It's probably going to be about an hour, 2 hours. Now, when I'm giving you these times, you've got to appreciate that we are all different, so these are just rough guidelines. But vaping is a great way if you just want just to do it really quickly, and you're happy to sort of maybe vape for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then after an hour, vape again for a bit more. So the other way, you can also, to get it into your lungs and to get that fast, quick, method of delivery of CBD, you can also do dabbing. Now, dabbing is, you would use a pipe, and it has the same sort of thing where it vaporizes the CBD, and you would use some CBD crystals, or wax crumble or shatter, something like that. Now, you would put it onto the dab pipe, and it is a special pipe. It's not just any old pipe that you'd smoke tobacco on, or it's a specific dab pipe that has a nail. So it heats up the nail, and then that helps to vaporize the CBD in there. So that again is a really quick method of getting it in there. It's not very convenient, you can't take your dab rig out, if you go into the supermarket, but you know, an e-cig pen like this is really good. Nobody knows what what's in there if you feel uncomfortable about people knowing that you're using cannabis, CBD. I mean, it is completely legal, but there is still a bit of a stigma attached to it when people don't understand what it's about. So yes, you can buy different vape oils. Now, you do need to, if you are wanting to vape, you do have to buy a specific vape CBD oil, because a normal sublingual oil that you put in your mouth, it'll be too thick, it's not refined, it's not, it hasn't got the PG, VG in there. So yeah, you need to buy specifically a vape oil, a CBD vape oil. So yeah, I love vaping. I do it on a daily basis, and there's loads of great flavours out there. There's some really nice tasting vape oils now. So the next method of, the third method of delivery is sublingual. So this is probably what most people have heard about, which is the cannabis oil. So when you get an oil, it would look something like this from Cannabidol. This is a 500 milligram oil, so it's quite high strength. And you get an oil in a little container like that, and obviously different suppliers will have different packaging and different types of containers. But yeah, with the oil or with a tincture or with a spray, what you're doing is you're putting it into your mouth. Now, you're either putting it under your tongue, or you might have a paste. Like this is a paste which is highly concentrated. I won't take it out of the packet, but this is like a syringe. And you put that on your finger and you just put it in between your tongue and your cheek. Or with the spray, you just spray it into the side of your mouth. Now, these, it will take probably about 15 minutes for the CBD to reach the bloodstream when you're using it sublingually in your mouth. And that's because what you're doing is you're putting it in your mouth and you're waiting for it to be absorbed by your mucous membranes. And then once it's absorbed by the mucous membranes, that's then when it's going to get into the bloodstream. And that's what we want. We want it in the bloodstream. So once it's in the bloodstream, it's going to last for about 3 to 4 hours. So it is quite a long-lasting way to have CBD. It's longer lasting than a vape, but it does take a little bit longer for it to get there. So then we also have the fourth way to use it is by digesting it orally. So that would be using some like CBD edibles, like gummy bear sweets, or you can get like capsules, CBD capsules that you just swallow with water. Now this is the slowest method of getting CBD into the bloodstream. It will take, depending on whether you've eaten that, depending on whether you've just eaten or whether you're taking it on an empty stomach, it can take, you know, roughly around about an hour for it to get into the bloodstream. Now, once it gets into the bloodstream though, it will last for about 5 to 6 hours. So it's very long lasting. It's probably the most, you know, the longest lasting method of CBD delivery. Now, when you are eating CBD and you're digesting it, there are some cons to it in the fact that when you digest it, it has to pass through the digestive system and it has to then be metabolized by the liver before it reaches the bloodstream. Now, what this means is that you're going to lose a proportion of that CBD in that digestive process. So if you take 25 milligrams of CBD in a sweet or in a capsule, you may only actually get 20 milligrams or 15 milligrams, you know, and you're not going to know exactly how much of it you've got because you can't tell. So yeah, so you do lose a little bit of it, but it's the longest lasting effect. And also it does have a different effect on the endocannabinoid system when it is metabolized by the liver than when it's absorbed through the mucous membrane. So sometimes it's good to just play around with this stuff and try it and see which way you like the best. You know, buy some CBD sweets, get some oil, and then just test it on days and see which one you think feels the best for you. So yeah, so that's the 4 ways how to use CBD. So I've got Daniel Longears is just wrote something. I think I need to change my type dose for my anxiety. I'm using Holland and Barrett's oil. Can you recommend an alternative? I've been using CBD through droplets for 4 months now. 2.75 milligrams for my dietary requirement. All right, Daniel, well, what I'd suggest is, I mean, I haven't tried the Holland and Barrett oil. I probably should have done, really, but I haven't tried it. I know that it's quite, I don't think it's a very, very strong oil. But yeah, what I suggest, Daniel, is maybe increasing your dosage. So 4 months now, 2.275 milligrams. So I'm not sure exactly how much that is, if that's 27.5 milligrams. So as an example with this is a 500 milligram bottle, and on the back there, I don't know if you can see, one serving is 50 milligrams. One serving is, half a pipette is 25 milligrams, so a full pipette is 50 milligrams. So what I would suggest, Daniel, is that if you've been using 27.5 milligrams and you're finding that, you know, you still need a little bit more, just increase your dose. So take it twice a day and double up. And do that for 7 days and see how you feel. But if after 7 days you feel that you still need to increase it, then double it up again. And you can do that. Or if you feel that it's too much, you can decrease it. I'd also suggest maybe trying some different suppliers, different products, maybe increasing the strength of the oil, or even maybe trying a vape. You know, I love vaping. As an example, you know, I had to do my accounts the other day, and I absolutely hate doing accounts. It's so boring, and I just, I'm like, So I really didn't want to do it. I just hated it. But what I did was I just got on my vape, got my laptop out, started vaping CBD, and after about 2 hours, I just thought, oh, I'm still working, I'm still doing it. And I got on and I cracked on and I did it. So I really like this because it's very fast and it helps me to just, no medicinal claims. No medicinal claims. It supports my health when I'm doing my accounts and feeling anxious about it. So you're using 275 milligram. That cat, I don't think you'll be using 275 milligram a day, will you? Because that'd be quite expensive, really. Maybe. Just have a look and see how much you're getting per serving, Daniel. Just have a look how much is in each serving. And then, yeah, just increase it if you feel it necessary, or try a vape. I'd suggest trying a vape. Oh, hi, Jack. Nice to see you. Oh. It is expensive, Daniel. You're right. It is expensive. And that's why it's best to, you know, to use a good supplier where it's where you're going to get the maximum benefit out of the oil. A full spectrum oil is definitely what I'd suggest using. So I just want to check the time. So it is 8:20 now. So I am going to sign off in a couple of minutes. Does anyone have any questions specifically about any of this that I've talked about tonight? If you do, let me know. And I'll answer them quickly now. I do like to keep it to 15 minutes because I appreciate people have things to do, you know, kids to put to bed and EastEnders to watch. So, sorry, why is this, Daniel? What do you mean? Why is what? I'm just going to vape some CBD while I'm waiting for a minute to see if anybody wants to ask any questions. Oh, it's lovely, is this? This is sour diesel, which is from the sour diesel cannabis plant. I absolutely love it. This is a sativa. Now, you can get vapes, you know, that... I don't know if you know the difference between an indica and a sativa, a cannabis plant, but an indica is more of a sedative feeling and a sativa is more of an uplifting feeling. So an indica would be something that you'd use on a night time, and a sativa is something that you'd use through the day. Hi, Jennifer. How far away from ADS, diazepam and beta blockers? How far away from ADs, diazepam and beta blockers? I'm not quite sure I understand the question, Jennifer. So if somebody is taking medication and you want to try CBD, then it's always best, I'd say, to consult with your doctor beforehand, just to check that everything's all right. Hi, Heather. But usually it's suggested that if you take if you're on medication, to take CBD about 2 hours before or after you've taken the medication, because the medication, CBD can inhibit hepatic drug metabolism, so it can mess about with the metabolism of the drugs that you're taking. So it's best to just give it some, to give it 2 hours, you know, either side of using CBD for your medication. So say for instance, if you were going to take some CBD at night, if you were taking your medication at 9 o'clock in the morning, take some CBD at 11 o'clock in the morning, give it a bit of time. And then just see how you feel, really. I wouldn't stop using your medication straight away. I would keep using your medication and then just consult your doctor. And then, you know, if you feel that you're able to, after you've been using CBD for a little bit of time, you know, then, you know, it's completely your choice. And if your doctor recommends it, then you can taper off a little bit. I know a lot of my customers that were on a lot of pain medication, you know, after a couple of months, they don't use that pain medication anymore. So, and that is because, this is not a medical claim, that is because CBD feeds the endocannabinoid system, and the endocannabinoid system, that's because that's what we're doing here, we're feeding the endocannabinoid system. The endocannabinoid system will regulate the pain, but it can take a few weeks for it to build up in your system, especially if you're very, very deficient. If your endocannabinoid system has a big deficiency, which mine did. So it took about 3 weeks for it to work for me. So hi Lindy, nice to see you from the United States. Hey Haley. So hi Jack, I think I may check out that Source website. Oh yeah, Source, my favourite vape. I don't actually sell it, but I do actually love it, so I'm happy to completely recommend it. I know that if you start using Source vapes, you will literally be like me, just constantly using them all day long. So I'm going to sign off now. Thank you very much for watching. Next week I'll be doing another Facebook Live event, and I'm hoping to, I've been to the Cannabis Trades Association convention last week, which was absolutely amazing. Met with lots of really interesting people in the CBD world, as I did the year before. So I'm hoping to get some of them online and do a Facebook Live event with them as well, and do some Q&As and things. So yeah, so I'm going to sign off now. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate all of you participating and asking questions and stuff. It's great, and I hope you've learned a lot, and now you know which ways are best for you to use CBD. So once again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye bye.